Hey Capricorn, how's it going? My name is Dre, and this is your reading for August 2017. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all your feedback, all your positivity. You guys are so positive. You know, even though I have like a small little following, it's still great that I'm still able to do this and have people watch it on a monthly basis. Before I get started, I do want to say also thank you to people that have gotten personal readings from me. And with that, like I want to say that when I do tarot readings, I don't do it to predict the future because our current circumstances, that's where we need the most guidance. That's where we need to, we need help the most. How to get out of the current situation we're in order to deal with whatever the future will bring, because there are a lot of unknowns. That's why it's the future. Nobody knows about the future. But how I use tarot is that we can learn from our past. We can learn from our prior mistakes, our current mistakes, in order to sort of make sense of where we need to go heading forward. So just be aware when you ask me, like if you ask for a personal reading, will this or won't this happen? I'm not the tarot reader for that. I'm sure there are tons of other tarot readers that will feel more comfortable answering those questions, but not me, because I know that nothing's written in stone. So, and I don't want to be in a position to either get your hopes up or to tell you a certainty when I'm not even certain that it'll happen myself. You know, I'm more of a I don't know, the way I use tarot is totally different. So enough of that. I'll get to the cards. We have the Four of Cups. You have the Devil, your card. Death. Seven of Swords. Seven of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. Ten of Swords reversed. Nine of Swords. And the Wheel. For an outcome, we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. And for an additional card, we have the Five of Wands in reverse. So for you guys, I'm getting the sense that there is a drawing inward. But it's mainly because I feel like for a lot of you, as I've always felt for you guys throughout the whole year, things are really hard, things are tough. And I do feel like a lot of you guys are having a more negative outlook right now when it comes to trying to get things off the ground or get things solved. With this Cups here, it's the only cup, so I feel like emotionally a lot of you feel sort of unsatisfied. If this is a relationship, a lot of you feel like you're putting in all this work for nothing. You're trying, but nobody seems to really get where you're coming from or understand you or give you the time of day, really take you seriously. And I feel like, again, you're mostly sort of carrying that burden on yourself. You're mostly taking on that pain and internalizing it and assuming that there's something wrong with you. And again, this could have been sort of built up over time. And it's giving you a lot of stress. It's making you feel inadequate, especially if I feel like if somebody else did something wrong, they're sort of guilting you about it and making you feel like you did something wrong and you're taking on that burden. And so I feel like what this reading, the main emphasis on it, is the Death card, as well as the Devil. And it's more about sort of transforming your way of thinking about how you're allowing this other person to treat you, how you're allowing your work situation to treat you, how you are allowing yourself to treat yourself, because something here isn't working. Something is really kind of throwing you off your game. We have the 7, the 8, and the 9 of Pentacles. And so I feel like there is an aspect of you that you're trying to, I really get the sense that you're trying to come out of this, that you're trying to, or at least the circumstances around you are allowing you to actually be in a position to view yourself, view your circumstances in a realistic way. I just think that when it comes to the details, you're getting thrown off, excuse me, because you are more concerned about, there's something that's giving you a lot of anxiety right now, especially if it pertains to communicating with somebody else in particular, somebody that probably isn't completely on the up and up, but I do feel like that a lot of these obsessive thoughts, because we also have the devil here, is it's not necessarily to your benefit, and it's something that you are still holding on to, that you haven't allowed yourself to let go of, because there is strife around you. There is a lot of, I feel like, when it comes to family, when it comes to friends, when it comes to your obligations, again, you're taking on most of this burden and you're trying to work your way through it and just fight through it. But simply fighting through it, ignoring how you actually feel in the process, isn't going to really help you here, Capricorn. And Capricorn, this energy, of course, depending always how much Capricorn you have in your chart, it's a very closed off, reserved energy, wherein you're not likely to express your emotions to anybody, probably not even yourself. It's very matter-of-fact energy. So I'm getting the sense that a lot of you really need to tap into what's actually causing you this sadness, what's causing you this frustration, this this pessimism. And I really see it in the fact that you always think that you have to be, again, the strong one, the one that looks out for everybody, the one that can take care of yourself and others. But we can't do that at the same time, because something in the process is getting missed. Something in this process isn't being taken care of in the way it should. You know, like if you have a lot of things on your plate, you know, you might be doing 2 of them efficiently, but it's lacking somewhere else, maybe in the social realm, since we have a few swords here. And so it's probably like when it comes to communicating with somebody close in particular, it's hard for you to probably get what's on your mind. And that's probably the challenge here with the 7 of Swords, being able to be as diplomatic as possible in a way to really get out into the open what needs to get out into the open. But it also feels like there's this bond. I really see a couple here where, or even, because this is your card, so there's this sort of that feeling of, you know, I don't want anybody to help me. I don't want anybody to, because I have this all together. I know what I'm doing. Which in a sense you probably do, but at the same time you're bringing in a lot of dead baggage with you that's sort of affecting your current situation. You haven't fully, like I said, you haven't fully addressed your own emotional needs. Again, you're probably more concerned with paying the bills, keeping up the appearances, keeping up the facade that everything is fine. This is a recurring message I've gotten for the signs so far, for a few of the signs, in that you're more, because it's eclipse season and because things are hectic right now, and you guys aren't really getting affected by it that much. It's in your blind spot, at least with the new moons in Leo. It's sort of in an area of your chart that you don't really, it's not in anything, it's more subconscious, because it mainly deals with, it's in the 8th house, Leo for Capricorn. But anyway, I feel like, you have to come to grips with some very uncomfortable truths before we're able to allow this wheel to turn. Because as we're going into Virgo season, which marks the next half of the zodiac. That's when we're more concerned about dealing with other people in more intimate situations, in more sort of abstract situations too, but not really. It's more like, yeah, it's just more one-on-one time. It's more of a partnership sort of thing, especially, at least here in the States, Capricorn season is during winter. So most people spend their time indoors, and just people are mainly focused on work and getting things done and making money. So for you guys, it's okay to focus on that, but it's also important to really get to the heart of any sort of problem that's holding you back. And you know what this is with this death card here. You know that there is a habit, that there is a lifestyle that needs to change, whether you're a workaholic, and I can see that, or whether you are allowing somebody to take complete control over you to the point that where they're more so guiding your life than you're guiding your own. Or where you're in a position where it's hard for you to actually trust others, and you've closed yourself off to a lot of people. I feel like that's coming from a position of you, I want to say feeling really sorry for yourself, but I don't know, for those of you that feel this sense of isolation, that feel this sort of like you can't really connect with other people, this could be depression easily. But I also feel like you haven't been reminded too much of your blessings, that you've gotten too comfortable in a rut. You've gotten too used to doing things a certain way. So it wouldn't hurt to allow yourself to view your blessings in a different way. The Nine of Pentacles reminds us to be grateful for what we have, for what we've worked for what we've gained. And to understand that in order to receive, we must give. We have this 9 and we have this 10, so completion. And we have the 7, the 9, and the 10 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is the one that's missing. So there could be, again, underlying anxiety about things that either aren't really real, or there's some things that you just need to really talk out with other people to bounce, to get feedback from, because there is something here that, at least when it comes to your emotions and when it comes to your mentality about it, you're just sort of done. And maybe you feel like nobody really has your back, and that you're always the one having to pick up other people's slack, or that you're the one that's always having to fight other people's battles. And at the same time, it just wears you out. Because you want to be strong for everybody, but again, it's so hard. And so what this eclipse season, I feel like, is telling you, Capricorn, is to sort of break free from this sort of karmic stagnation you've allowed yourself to be entrenched in. Because, it's in the Leo's in your 8th house, and Aquarius is in your 2nd. So try to reconnect, bring, illuminate aspects of how it is, not only that how you make money, but whether or not you feel like you are worth anything in these areas. Like, how can I say that in the least complicated way possible? The Taurus Scorpio axis, which is the 2nd and the 8th house, that deals with our possessions, where we feel like we're the most comfortable when it comes to making money. But all of that it comes from how we're taught in childhood, whether or not we were given any chance to flourish, or whether people gave us a hard time and all that stuff. And I feel like for you, it's more about recognizing that life could be a lot easier. You just have to allow it to be for yourself. And again, if that's in a relationship, you need to be willing to communicate your grievances. If that's in work, you need to be able to, I feel like that there are external circumstances that are affecting your working patterns. They're either causing you to work harder and becoming a workaholic, or it's causing you to sort of lose sight of your higher goals, in a sense that you don't even know what you're working for anymore. You don't even know why you're here. It's like this just, anxiety just comes out of nowhere. And it's more like that, where you're not sure how to address it. And the best way to address it is to just look at it head on, as well as talk about it with other people, and understand that, it's not through any fault of your own that you feel this way. You can't keep carrying the guilt for other people, for people before you. You can't keep fighting battles that were happening before you were born. It's a very deep reading, Capricorn. So I did cards from the Osho Zen Tarot deck, and we have Possibilities, which is the Two of Wands. Projections, which is the Seven of Cups. Slowing Down, which is the Knight of Pentacles. And Abundance, which is the King of Pentacles. As well as Maturity, which is the Ace of Pentacles. So your element is very well represented here. We have Success, which is the Six of Wands. And we have Conditioning, which is the Tower. So there's a lot here that you should address when it comes to, especially with what I was saying with conditioning, that you might feel like there's a lot of, the thing about the Zen Tarot deck is that we don't have to really work to achieve who we actually are. It's more about us stripping away things that aren't natural to our way of being. So you have more opportunities around you, and you have more chance to experience and fully jump into life more than you think you do. It's more about, are you willing to take that risk? Are you willing to, if you are dating somebody, if you're with somebody, and they're treating you bad, or that you deserve better, it won't hurt to actually leave them. And if you do feel like your life is in danger, you should find somebody or communicate to somebody to help you out of the situation. Because I know situations can become toxic and harmful and just sort of impossible to get out of, but you have that autonomy, you have that choice, and there are people more than willing to help you escape if that's the issue. But it's more like, are you ready for that? And again, it doesn't have to be that serious. It could seriously be anything, a career change, moving, but you just can't allow yourself to get caught up in an illusion, in the illusion of, well, I'm so used to doing this. I feel like this is my life path. I was meant to do this. I was put here to do this. But it's like, were you really? Pluto is in Capricorn right now, meaning huge life changes for you guys in terms of your personality and how you choose to, really stepping into your own power and allowing people to not really take advantage of you. But it also leads on the flip side to this thirst for power, this thirst for control, this thirst for dominance or being dominated, power struggles and dynamics intensely between you and other people, wherein some of you might have ascended quickly in a job, or you might have married quickly with somebody, and now you're questioning whether or not that's actually right for you. So it's important to take this time to slow down and to understand, what are you truly working for, and what has given you a lot of pain and a lot of grievance in the past that you are still carrying here with you, and knowing that having that is a badge of is a badge of courage. It's a badge of honor. You know, all the pain we go through, you know, it sucks, but we go through it for a reason because, you know, it shapes us into the people we are. It's the people that we become, the people that we're destined and fated to become. And understanding what it is you're actually meant to put, what you're meant to create and bring on this earth, what you're meant to show to other people, what you're meant to accumulate, and again, what you're meant to put out into the world and receive. Again, this 9 with this abundance, you know, you have a lot of abundance, or you have the ability to create more for it for yourself if you allow yourself the ability to be giving, not to only other people, but to yourself. Treat yourself well. And with this maturity, like, this is the ace you need. That's the sort of thing you need to keep in mind, in that you can start anything if you wanted to. And if any sign knows that better, it's Capricorn. Best, it's Capricorn. So, you know, whatever that new idea, whatever it is that you truly feel like you can bring into the world, that's important to keep in mind. That's important to recognize. And success is possible if you allow it to be, if you allow yourself to flow naturally with the ups and downs of life, flow naturally with the currents, because, you know, not everything is easy, but, you know, this is all so we can gain experience to get better at this, to get better at understanding who we are, where we've lost track of ourselves, whether it's in other people or in a job or in, you know, things outside of us. It's always great to reconnect and understand what it is and who we are that we're actually fighting for. Okay, so thank you, Capricorn, and I will see you guys next month. Bye.